So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being on the call this evening. And what I'm going to cover is information once you begin to have clients. So last week we covered some of the basics of getting started as a new health coach and launching your business. And this week I'm going to cover, you've got a new client, now what do you do? So very, very exciting when you're working with clients because you are making a difference in that person's life and they have the opportunity to transform themselves in so many ways. So you don't want to hold back on sharing our amazing program and business. So I like to start with this slide a lot, and that is a slide from the Cleveland Clinic, and I title it Thinking Big, because this study from the Cleveland Clinic shows what happens if you take someone from obese to a healthy weight. A number of medical conditions can improve in huge percentages. So I'm talking about saving lives. This business, to me, has nothing to do with selling. It is all about saving people's lives. And when someone gets to a healthy weight, we can reduce their 5-year mortality, their 5-year risk of dying of any disease, of any problem, by 89%. It's absolutely huge. And if we look on the left side here, type 2 diabetes, which is a huge epidemic in our country because of excess weight and obesity, can be reversed 83% of the time. So that's what gets me excited every morning when I jump out of bed, making a huge difference in the medical conditions that we see in this country, 80% of them related to excess weight. So I want all of us to think big, because this is a big a business that we're offering people, and a wonderful opportunity with our program. So the tools as you're developing your skills as a health coach include your business coach. So you want to link arms with the person that sponsored you, and maybe your sponsor is not very engaged, or maybe your sponsor is newer also. So you want to keep going up your mentorship line until you find someone that will work with you one-on-one and help you every step of the way as you're learning these new skills. Training guide number 1 is also very important. It's in your business box, and then the file folder system. So those are the tools. And a conversation, once you connect with someone who might be interested in our program, once you connect with them, it really begins with a conversation using the client profile form. And I'm not going to demonstrate this in detail. I actually have a very nice recording where I am profiling someone. So I'm happy to share that with you. And so starting the conversation with a prospect for our program really starts here. You know, what is your motivation for considering a program like ours? Are you interested in creating long-term health or simply losing weight? How much weight would you like to lose? What's your height? What's your weight? And so on and so forth. So really making this very, very conversational. This profile form turns the focus from you to the person that you're trying to help. So if you're anxious as a new coach about what they're going to think, you know, the minute you start asking them questions about what they want, then your anxiety goes away, because it's not about us. It's about the people we're trying to help. So when I get to the bottom of this form, I always say, oh my gosh, Mary, you would be a great candidate for our program. Let me tell you a little bit about how the program works. And it really is a little bit. I use the pre-client folder. Again, it's part of the client of the file folder system. And I literally go through the talking points on the front of the pre-client folder. And I don't say all the talking points, but most of them I will cover here. So it keeps me on track. It helps me be short and to the point so that I don't get carried away and I end up talking too much. Because this whole profiling of a prospect should be no more than 15 to 30 minutes. It might be on the longer side if you have someone with a lot of health issues or someone that's, extremely talkative. You want to create that great relationship. But, if you're talking to a guy, sometimes it can be 10 minutes because they're pretty, curt with their answers. Mm-hmm. So here's the program right here. And then once I go over the bullet points of the program, I always say, and let me tell you about the best part. The best part of the program is the cost. It's not expensive. It's cost neutral. This becomes your grocery store while you're doing the program. It's $11 a day. And on the inside of the pre-client folder, there's the information about the cost. But it's actually not completely accurate because we now have different variety boxes and a different price point that the company has created for us that is much more economical. So a month of food is actually $300, not $400. So I say it's $11 a day. For $11 a day, you're going to get everything you need except your one meal that you provide yourself or that you eat at a restaurant. So for the first month, the cost is $300. That includes a whole month of food, the program materials that I mentioned when I was telling you about the program, and my coaching, which will be free. So that's how I talk about the cost. And then the last point that you want to make is the invitation. So the last thing you want to cover is inviting the person to try it for a month. And I always say, you know what, Mary, try it for a month. In a month, you're going to know if this is the program for you. All I need is your credit card or debit card. I'm going to get your account created. And when your food arrives, it's going to come to your house, UPS. All you have to do is call me or text me, and I will help you get started. So that's how I close my conversation or make the invitation. Try it for a month. In a month, you're going to know if this is the program for you. So you get a yes. You've gone through the profiling and explained the program and the cost, and the person says yes, they would like to try the program. Now what you do is you go back to the front of that profile form, and you go to the top and you fill in, you get their email address and their shipping address and their, the phone number that they want to use and all of those demographics and their credit card information. So you've got all of that, and then you let them go. Don't keep them on the phone while you're placing the order, because you as the health coach are going to create their account and place the first order. You're not sending them to your website to muck around and order the wrong thing or end up ordering from another health coach. You are in charge. You want to facilitate this for them and do that for them. And as you're creating their account, you now the company requires an email address as their username. And so you need to have an email address. If they don't have an email address, create something on Gmail for them, or maybe they can use their daughter's email or something like that, but they have to have an email address. And then the passcode, you want to keep that standard for all of your clients. And now we're required to have a capital letter and a number. So I use the pass code WELCOME1 with the W capitalized. What to order on their first order? Don't get into this, 2-hour conversation of do you want the chicken noodle soup, and what about the chocolate bars, and would you like this, would you like that? They have never tried the products, so make it easy and make it streamlined and make it duplicatable. So you want to order a B Slim variety kit, and the one that is most commonly ordered is the B Slim Optimal kit. So 99% of the time, you're going to be ordering one of these variety kits. It's easy. This way they get a little of everything that is most commonly ordered. In the B Slim Optimal kit, the Habits of Health system is already included, the book and the workbook, so you don't have to put that in separately. If you decide to customize, there's going to be an occasional person that absolutely wants to customize, or they have some dietary needs, then you'll be selecting 20 boxes plus the program materials, the book and the workbook. So it's a lot more tedious, and I don't even give them a choice. If they have some dietary needs, then I go ahead and pick out the 20 boxes myself. Again, you don't want to be on the phone with them for 2 hours going over every single product. With the B Slim automatic shipment, it's going to give them the best pricing. They get free shipping, a free shaker jar, and they now get credit towards their next order. So where do you order these variety kits, and how does it all shake out? Well, you're going to go to your own co-branded website, and on the front of your website, you're going to click on Shop TSFL. Oftentimes, it'll take you to a landing page that says, right in this area, it'll say Shop Now. So if that's the case, then you click on Shop Now, and then it'll take you to this. And you'll see the variety boxes in the upper left-hand corner, and the one that you want to select most often is the B Slim Optimal Kit. And the reason why is the B Slim Optimal Kit includes the book and the workbook. This one, the basic kit does not have any books, and the Discover kit has Dr. Anderson's more basic book that really gets people into the mindset, but it's not the full-blown program material. So this is the one that you want to select. And the price point is great. It's $300 for that month of food. Your client is paying for 15 boxes. They're getting 5 boxes for free. And then they're going to get 10% off of their second order. So they're going to get about $25 off their second order when they're ready to place that. As I mentioned, the book and the workbook are included. We used to have the full integration package, which is still there. You don't want to select those. That's $400. And again, there's something magical about that lower price point. Once you place the order, your client will get a confirmation from the company about their order, but you want to send a separate email, and we call that a welcome email. So here's an example of what I put on my welcome email. I make it very simple. I don't put, 10 different attachments. I only do 2 attachments, so I'm going to walk you through it, but this is pretty much what I say. Mary, I'm so excited to help you with your health goals. Look for the email confirmation about your order and call me when your food arrives so I can help you get started. Email me your before picture, and I'll store it in my computer files until you get to your goal weight. I've attached before and after pictures of 2 of my clients to inspire you. So what I do is I always put a female and a male, because your female client, her husband is likely to need the program also. And he's going to identify with pictures of a male, whereas she's going to identify with pictures of a woman. And I try to match up. If you're talking to a middle-aged woman, then I don't send them before and after pictures of a 25-year-old. So I try to match up the age, and I even try to match up the amount of weight. So if your client needs to lose 100 pounds, then I'll send a before and after picture of 100 pounds of weight loss. If they need to lose 50, then I'll find a picture that has, about 50 pounds. And then I may make the 100-pound one be the male just for the drama of the before and after. And then I continue on in my email saying, to develop the proper mindset for developing your journey, download for free Dr. Anderson's ebook. It's a quick read. You're going to love it. And it would be great if you could read that ebook before your food arrives. Simply click on this link. And I include the stopchallengechoose.com/download link for that free ebook. So now they've got something to, get acclimated with, get their head, their mindset going, and really get excited about, the food arriving. So when the food arrives, you want to get your client to the teachable moments. So I ask them, in the email, we ask them to call us when the food arrived. I have occasional clients that for some reason don't call and they start on their own. But, as health coaches, it's our responsibility to go into our back office, look up their order, click on the tracking number, and see when their box of food arrives. So if I haven't heard from them in a week, then I'll click on the tracking number and I'll find out, oh, gee, their food arrived 2 days ago. Now, maybe they aren't quite ready to start, and that's okay. But sometimes I'll call and, they've been on the program for, a day or 2 or 3. So you want to call and review with them how to get started. And that's about a 15 to 20 minute conversation. So when I get them on the phone, and we've discussed that they do have 15 to 20 minutes, if you call them spur of the moment, always have the courtesy to say, I wanted to go over how to get started on our program. I know you've got your food, and do you have 15 or 20 minutes right now? And then I ask them to pull out the green welcome folder, the book and the workbook from their box of food. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over that welcome folder. Then once they start the program, we're going to talk or text with them the first 3 days of the program, checking in to make sure they're doing it correctly. They're not getting overwhelmed. We're, anticipating any problems like being hungry in the first couple of days. And then once they're plugged in, then we'll start to coach them weekly. So that's a 2 to 5 minute phone call. So our job when we're getting those clients started is to get them into fat burn. And that happens about day 3 of the program. So the support tools in the box of food, Dr. Anderson's book and workbook, and that green folder of information that says welcome in the lower left-hand corner. So what I do is, or what we do when we're starting a new client is we're simply reviewing the welcome folder. And I tell my clients what I want to do is go over the thin booklet first, the one that's titled The Habits of Health Lifestyle. So Mary, pull that out first, and that's the one I'm going to go over with you first. And then I ask her to open it up to the first page, and on the left side, that she'll see a stair step of the different phases of our program. And I always say, Mary, I want you, as you're starting this program, I want you to not think of it as a diet, because, you know, a diet screams of deprivation and, you know, and just giving up things, suffering and pain and all of that, and gaining your weight back. So that's what dieting means to me. Our program is an optimal health program, and I want you to see that on that first page at the bottom, there's a stair step of the different phases of our program. So you can see that losing your weight is simply one phase of our program, but there's so much more to our program. Once you get your weight off, Mary, I'm going to help you transition. And as you're losing the weight, you're going to learn healthy habits using Dr. Anderson's book and workbook. And we're even going to go beyond that into truly creating optimal health. And on the page to the right, Mary, I want you to see that step one, you know, the first phase of our program, which is getting into that mindset and preparing for your journey, corresponds with chapters 1 through 5 in Dr. Anderson's book and lessons 1 through 7 in the workbook. So every phase of our program corresponds with chapters in the book and lessons in the workbook. But Mary, this is a self-study, and I don't even want you to worry about reading the book right now. If that's too much for you, I'd rather get you started on the program, get you acclimated, getting comfortable with the program, and then you can start in with the book and the workbook. So Mary, go ahead and put that away and pull out the Quick Start Guide. So that's the thicker pamphlet, and the Quick Start Guide will be your Bible as you're doing the program. So you're going to refer to it time and again. I want you to read the Quick Start Guide from cover to cover because it tells you exactly how to do the program. And then once you read it from cover to cover, I want you to really concentrate on the first 8 pages. So when will you be starting the program, Mary? So I find out from her when she wants to start. Okay, on the day you start, I want you to get up in the morning, empty your bladder, get on the scale, and that's going to be your start weight. So text me that number on your first day, and I'm going to record that on your profile form. And then every day that you're on the program, it couldn't be simpler. All you're going to do is pick out 5 MetaFast products and plan your lean and green every day. And I want you to really have fun with this program and just enjoy the journey. Don't get, stressed out. You may not do everything perfectly. You're human. That's okay. And I go through, these additional items. So, Mary, what you want to do when you get up, every day, is eat your first meal replacement or your first MetaFast product within 60 minutes of getting up. 30 minutes is even preferable. It breaks the fast, it gets your metabolism revved up, but don't wait longer than 60 minutes to eat that first meal replacement. Once you get the first meal replacement in, then you're going to be eating every 2.5 to 3 hours up until the time you go to bed. And I've got the Quick Start Guide always in front of me. And I've learned from, when I first started as a health coach where I didn't do a very good job of getting people started, where they got confused and then they were asking me, how many vegetables, do I eat? How big is my salad? So I go through that with them as I'm covering the Quick Start Guide. So I'll say, turn to pages 3 to 5, cover the lean and green information. So you can pick any lean protein. It's on page 3. Flip to page 4. That explains your vegetables and salad. So I explain and I show them that they want to have 3 servings of greens, and a serving is a half a cup of vegetables. But if they're having spinach or salad greens or spring mix or something like that, then a serving is 1 full cup. And so I just give them examples. If you're going to have salad, you could have 1 full cup of salad and then a half a cup of cucumber and a half a cup of, something else. If you want to have 2 full cups of spinach, then you could have a half a cup of cucumber to go with that. And that has saved me so many phone calls of, I don't understand how many vegetables I should be eating and all of that. And then I'll say, at the top of page 4, it covers information about healthy fats because that keeps your gallbladder active. So we want you to have some healthy fats every day. And then on the bottom of page 5, you can have an optional snack. I prefer the celery if you like celery because it gives you additional vegetables, more fiber, and the crunch that sometimes you miss when you're doing a program like this. On the top of or on page 6, Mary, it covers information about condiments. You can have up to 3 condiments a day. And, I explain, mustard, a whole tablespoon of mustard, for instance, but only a half a teaspoon of ketchup because ketchup has a lot of sugar in it. So I go over that, and then I remind them that, we want them to drink 64 ounces or more of water. And the reason why water is important, it helps metabolize or break down the fat, and it helps to flush toxins out of the body, toxins that are embedded in fat. And then I cover other beverages that they can have: coffee, tea, iced tea. I'm not a big fan of diet soda, I always say, but, if you're a diet soda lover, you don't have to give up every single thing, on day 1. But I'd like you to, eventually not drink more than maybe 1 diet soda a day. Additional comments, I make sure they know that any MetaFast meal can be eaten at any time. And I'll say, if your kids have a soccer tournament and you're super busy, you could have 5 bars that day. Just throw them in your purse. You don't have to mix it up, but if you want to mix it up, you can. All the products really have the same nutritional footprint and can be eaten at any time of the day. Don't eat anything that's not on the program. Don't skip any of your meals. Eat all the way up until the time you go to bed. And I explain that they might be hungry until they get into fat burn, which usually occurs on day 3. So if they're hungry, they can have an extra meal replacement. They can have a couple of slices of turkey, or maybe a hard-boiled egg, or making sure they get their optional snack, that celery or the dill pickles. And then I remind them, text me your weight the day you begin. And then every Mondays are the day that I do my coaching calls. So I want your weight every Monday. You can weigh anytime you want, but Monday is the weight that I want. And then, Mary, feel free to call or text me for any questions, clarifications, if you're not sure if something's, right or not. And then the last thing I do is I have them go to the back of the Quick Start Guide. The new Quick Start Guide is actually page 19. Page 19 talks all about or has information about the support calls. So I have them go to page 19, and I make them aware that there are weekly support calls that gives them another layer of support. The nurses call on Mondays. The times are in Eastern time. The doctors call on Wednesday. And when they get to their goal weight, there's even a maintenance call. And then the very last thing I do is on the very last page of the Quick Start Guide, I have them write in my information. So Mary, see how it says your health coach's information? Write in my name. You're probably not going to need my ID number, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. The phone number that I prefer to be called, I'm going to give you my cell number because if you have to text me, you'll have my cell. The email address is this. Your ID, Mary, is this. So when you place the order, you get that email confirmation from the company, and I open it up right away, and I write that client's ID at the top of the profile sheet. So I have it. So I'm going to give Mary her ID number, and then the last thing I do is I ask her to, underneath her ID number, to write down my website, prohealth.tsfl.com. And then, Mary, your username is your email address, and your passcode is welcome with the W capitalized and the number 1. Now you have everything you need to get into your account for future orders. If you stay on the program longer than a month, which I hope that you will. As you're doing that call with your new client, have file folder number 1 in front of you, because it has some of the bullet points that you want to cover, but there's a lot of information on the front of file folder number 1, and I do not go over all of that. It's just overwhelming. I've said enough, the basic things that I've already covered, but you can look through and, you'll see some things that, like eating every 2 to 3 hours and so forth. As a coach, you're going to develop your own, way of doing things. I am very confident the way I start people. It's second nature to me. I don't even have to think about it. But, when you're a new coach, you're developing your own style and so forth. I also define my role as a health coach before I get off the phone. So I say, Mary, I just want you to know that as a health coach, my role is to love, support, and to guide people. It is never to judge, criticize, or beat you up. So you are human. There are probably going to be times when you fall off the wagon. I'm going to help pick you back up. And all I ask is that you be honest with me. Be honest about your weight. Be honest about how you're doing. And again, I'm never going to beat you up. We've all been beat up enough, in our lives. Do listen to the support calls every week. And I also have a client Facebook support page for another layer. If you're on Facebook, I'm going to friend you or ask you to friend me, and then I'll add you to my client Facebook page. Mary, my gosh, you're going to love this program. It is just amazing. And as you melt away, I'm telling you, people are going to notice. You're going to want to help your friends and family and pay it forward. I love what I do, and I'm always looking for people to do it with me. So, in the future, you may want to join me as well. You're going to see that it's really easy. This is not complicated at all. So I'm planting some seeds about coaching. And as you coach your clients, absolutely do not forget their before picture. I am obsessed with it. I hound them in a very nice way until they text or email me their before picture. Heavy people avoid the camera. And if you have a client that loses 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, and they have no before pictures, you're going to kill yourself and they're going to kill themselves because they don't have anything to compare to. We have a short memory. So as soon as I get their before picture, I store it in my computer files under my TSFL clients, and I recommend only using a first name. Never use someone's last name. I think that's disrespectful. Even if they give you permission to use their pictures in the future, I just don't think that's very professional to use someone's last name. So I do their first name, their starting weight and their starting and when they're, they started the program, January of 15, for instance. And then later on, when you get their after picture, you can combine the two and it'll look like Holly, 110 pounds, 12 months. So how much she lost over what period of time. And as you're coaching them, and this is really another presentation for the near future, we're going to celebrate their successes. We're going to ask if people are noticing, and we're going to teach our clients how to give us referrals. So again, the file folder system, file folder number 1, it covers week 1 as you're getting your clients started. File folder number 2 is all about the first month. File folder 3, as they're learning the habits of health, they've got some success, they're losing weight, and they're learning those habits of health. And in the back inside folder of file folder number 3, there's a section on what to say if a person plateaus. They're losing weight and then suddenly their weight stays the same for a couple of weeks and they're struggling a bit. So anyway, but the file folder system, again, is a topic for the near future. Remember, as you're starting your clients, you're bulletproof. We have so many layers of support from the company. We have those support calls every week. I did the support call last night, the doctor's call, and had some great questions. So if you've got a client who has a medical question and you're not a doctor, or, even if you are a doctor and maybe you should not be that client's doctor, you help them along, but you shouldn't really be adjusting their medications and anything like that. If you are a doctor, that should come from their primary care physician. So you can send them to the support calls, Mondays from the nurse, Wednesdays from a doctor. They can ask questions. We've got, at the corporate office, we've got a whole army of registered dietitians that your client can talk to, and so many different things. You want to fully integrate your clients. That's your intention as you're getting those clients going. And what does it mean to be fully integrated as a client? It means that that person has made a decision to make health a reality. They're on the 5-in-1, or they're at their goal weight and now they're in maintenance. They're using the Bio Network. They're getting on those support calls. They're plugging in to your Facebook support page. They're getting on your weekly calls. They're answering your the phone when you call them weekly. They're using the Habits of Health system, Dr. Anderson's book and workbook, and they're creating optimal health for themselves. So that's what it means to have a fully integrated client. And a fully integrated client will see how easy this program is. Doesn't take much time. You're on the phone 2 to 5 minutes a week with them, and they may want to join you because you've created a relationship with them. You've made it fun. You've complimented them. They're excited about their results. They've become part of our culture. Maybe they're going to our monthly events here in St. Louis, or, if you're from other parts of the country, you might have events. They're maybe on the challenge and they're connecting with our culture through the health challenge, through your Facebook page. And they may join you simply because you ask them to join you. And they want to be part of something big. So that is what's exciting about fully integrating your clients. And when you have a fully integrated client, again, some of them will become coaches. So I love these pictures of Debbie and Tina. Debbie lost 80 pounds and Tina lost 93 pounds, and they're both fabulous health coaches and helping so many people create what they've been able to create with their health.